Okay, we'll get started with the post-game press conference here for NIU. We have James Dent, Joe Mendon Jr. Joe, so go ahead with questions for these guys.
Obviously this is not the way you want a season to go, but as players, how can you kind of reflect on this season, kind of build on it going forward?
It's really been an up and down season, really, because we lost majority of our guys early in the season. So I mean, it's unfortunate. We really couldn't do nothing about it, but just keep playing.
As a basketball player, we learn throughout your journey that there's going to be ups and downs and everything. So we just trying to every day just come in, play as hard as we can, take whatever lessons we can from whatever game we play, win, lose, draw. So I just feel like if we keep learning from everything that happens, there are no negatives.
And then James, you mentioned injuries. Both of you have had. James, you played 39 minutes tonight. Joe, you've seen a lot more production. You've been in the starting lineup lately with all these injuries. How has that affected the team this season?
It's been a lot because most games, some games we ran out of gas late. I feel like if we had a couple extra bodies, we probably would have came out with a win some of those games. But that doesn't really matter. The guys on the court just got to do what they got to do, try to get the win.
Yeah, to pick up on what JD is saying, we don't really look at it like that. When we out there, it's we got 5 guys, we got enough to play. After the game, we look in the locker room and it sucks that we missing our guys because those are our guys. But we got 5, we got enough to play, so we're gonna go out there and we're not gonna make any excuses.
Joe, you had some physical play at the end. You fell down, hit your head. What is it like? Late in this season, you only have 5 wins, but still going out there and giving it 100% every time.
I just feel like I tell everybody that I know that I truly love this game. And to love this game is to do everything for it, even when you don't see it through. So if I see we got 5 wins, that's not going to determine how hard I play or, what I give my teammates because they show up every day too. So they deserve me to put my best foot forward every day, same way I expect them to do the same.
James, you had 13 points tonight. Quentin had 18. You two have kind of been the 1-2 so far this year. What has it been like playing, 1 and 2 with him so far this year?
It's been fun. Can't lie. Quentin is very talented. I feel like just stay in his head. Just keep talking to him because he's young, sophomore going to his junior year next year. So he's just gonna keep building. He's gonna get better and better each day.
And then both you guys are seniors. Senior night, last home game. What was it like here? It was both your first season at NIU. What was it like playing here in NIU this year?
It was pretty fun. It wasn't bad, Not much I can really say.
I enjoyed my time in the convo. You know what I'm saying? I wish it would have went, where we were healthy and, we could have saw what it really would have been, But I feel like we learned a lot from this year going back to what we were saying earlier. And I'm just happy about the time I had here.
How proud are you guys of just persevering through, all the ups and downs and, like you said, just going out there every day with whoever's available and whoever's ready and just the kind of the effort that you've continued to give no matter the circumstance?
Yeah, I'm very proud because it shows that we have no quit. That's something I'm big on. As long as we keep fighting, can't really say anything wrong about it.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud because me personally, this is my 5th year of college basketball, and I've never seen anything like this in terms of, injuries and guys in and out of the rotation. We've had, 16, 17 different starting lineups to this point. So it's just like I feel like when you could do things that have never been done before, I like our chances.
All right, thank you guys. Really appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congrats on the season.
Thank you.
You saw a tight group in the second half. We played as hard as we possibly can for as long as we possibly can or could with the 6 scholarship guys. We got out rebounded, and more importantly, the lack of depth hurt us on the offensive end. Our shots were extremely short, corner threes, top of slot threes. But those guys battled. They gave us a chance to be in the game. We just couldn't get over the hump. And I thought, obviously, Quentin, James, and T had to have great shooting nights against the zone, and we didn't. But these guys really, throughout the course of this year, as difficult as it has been, those guys just showed up and been consistent with their effort and attitude to try to figure this thing out.
All right, Coach. Obviously, it's not the way you want the season to go as a coach, but what are some things that you've learned so far this year that you can kind of take away going into next year?
One, you got to get guys to understand like everything matters, right? Weight room, classroom, locker room, and you gotta really be intentional with your approach to the game. I think sometimes what hurt us this year was our lack of basketball IQ in certain situations, time and score. We didn't have the size this year due to injuries. We didn't have a person that we can break someone's run by throwing it inside. Our game primarily was around the perimeter. If you look at our shot distribution, including T, a lot of our guards took a bulk of the shots. And so injuries and taking care of your body is something that is going to be a focal point going into the offseason. If you look at just the body composition of those guys that we've faced, they're bigger and stronger than we are. And so even with some of the injured guys, right, so we got to do a really good job this offseason of attacking the weight room and putting the emphasis on that because we were overwhelmed in the weight room department with strengths. If you look at all of these games, we've been out rebounded. And so we got to do a better job of getting guys in that likes the weight room, but we got to put these guys in a position to be successful.
And then injuries have been a big emphasis so far this year without McPherson, Butler, and Muhammad tonight, 3 big rotational pieces. How much of an impact do you think injuries have played on the way this season turned out?
We haven't had a practice since, I want to say, early December. Like everything, you have to be mindful of legs, depth, and so injuries are a part of the game. But a big part of evaluating the program is injury can't keep you out 2 weeks, and that's on average with our guys. 2 to 3 weeks, guys have been out. Ethan Butler has missed 2 months of the season. Joe's missed 2 months of the season. T has missed almost a month of the season. Nas in or out, missed a month of the season. TJ's missed the entire season. Doro's missed since Valpo. All right, so I can go on and on and on. And so what that tells you is guys who are consistent, like Quentin Jones, James Dent, those guys are taking 99.999% of the reps. Right, so that's in practice, that's film sessions, that's weight room sessions, and so then they got to play 38 minutes, and so you're gonna hit a wall eventually. So I think this offseason is going to be comprised of evaluating strength and conditioning, and then what we're doing in the training room. Because yet again, injuries are a part of the game. There's teams who are battling injuries, but how do we get our guys back to the court is going to be a major focal point for us moving forward.
You talk a little about Quentin Jones. He's a sophomore. He's going to be going to his junior year next year. He's a young guy. One of Mac's top scorers this year in his first year at NIU.
Yeah, he was who I thought he would be for us. Our style of play, if you're a good guard, we've had guards, in those statistical categories before. Our style of play makes it conducive for guys who can finish at the rim, guys who can make some shots to play well. But he's been a consummate pro. I don't think he's missed a day since June, and that's a testament to his mindset and his work, just his work off the court. Taking care of his body, getting his rest, making sure that his body's in the right space. But he's eager to hit this off season. We got to build around him, and he still has to improve certain things of his game. But he's a guy that you got to have in your program because he's a consummate pro.
Then I believe you started 8 for 15 from 3, and then finished the game 3 for 21 or 3 for 24.
Correct.
Sorry. What can you do to just take better shots, get more consistent looks from 3?
Well, I thought even with the 8 for 15, I think we have 14 assists. I want to say we've stuck on 14 assists for a long time. The ball never moved. We never got the team behind the ball. So everything we were creating were one-on-one or one-pass shots. And so I think the one thing we got to get better at is beating guys off the bounce. Like even number 2, who's not a great shooter, he lived in the paint. So when you live in the paint, you can converge and guys can get easier shots. James Dent and Quentin Jones haven't been able to get easy shots all year. So we got to get guards that can get us into the paint to cause conversions, and then we got to spray it for guys to step up and make shots.
And then with it being senior day, can you talk about some of the seniors like James Dent and Joe London last home game?
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for Duro because, injuries are never they're part of the game, as I stated. But, he's a guy that, like Quentin, just shows up every day. And, to not being able to play his senior night, I felt bad for him. But Joe, I was happy that he was able to play in front of his parents. And James is a kid, we only had him for a year, but he's a big impact on our program, and I was happy that his family had a chance to see him play. Unfortunately, we couldn't win for those guys, but I thought, yet again, they had the right intentions.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.